than welcome to party.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Splash Page. Today I'm going to be looking at the teaser trailer for the 6th episode of The Boys in Season 3, entitled Herogasm. Now, the trailer really gave us nothing to work off of. We see the Deep walking in saying, "This is Herogasm." It then brings us to a black screen with a bunch of copy on it that details what we will be seeing in this next episode and doesn't show us any of it, which I think is probably a smart idea because it wouldn't be allowed on YouTube and even Twitter would probably get some complaints here. Followed by a bunch of reaction shots from some key people that we know very well, and finishes up with a line from a character that we have not seen yet. And to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure who this is. He speaks with a Russian accent, so my guess, based on reading the comics and really only knowing one Russian superhero, is Love Sausage. His his name kind of dictates, what his powers are, but they kind of gave a shout out to him in season 2, and also in the comics, Love Sausage is not present at Herogasm, so I'm not quite sure who this character is, but I'll be very curious to see how he's used. Since we can't really go too in-depth in what we think is going to happen during this episode because we don't get much information from this teaser, what I know about Herogasm is it was a 6-issue run that happened during the run of The Boys. It was kind of a side work, but it totally works within the story. And it starts with Homelander basically saying that an alien ship is attacking Earth and they need to do a massive team up. Think like Infinity War or any of the big team up movies for Marvel, to fight against this threat. That allows all of the superheroes to disappear, and people think that they're fighting aliens, but really they go to Costa Rica and are at a resort that they basically have a weekend-long party, which is way more aggressive than a party, as you'd imagine. They hire in sex workers and bring in drugs for these soups. The crux of these issues is something I don't think we'll cover off on here. You actually learn quite a bit about Homelander and what happened during 9/11. To this point, it hasn't really been something that's been referenced, but it was a much bigger part in the comics. We also really see Homelander go kind of crazy for the first time in the comics. He obviously had done things horrible in the past, and we've seen those, but this was the first time Homelander really says to himself that I can do anything, and pretty much right away he just flies into the sky and blows up a plane full of passengers for absolutely no reason, not one that we're given in the comics. So knowing that Homelander in the show has already kind of gotten past that point and is already thinking that he can do anything he wants, I'll be really curious to see what is done differently now that, we're kind of at a different point in Herogasm than we were in the comics. Homelander also uses this opportunity when all the Supes are together to begin to divulge his plan for the Supes to take over and not be subservient to Vought or even really the human race. That being said, again, is a bit different than the show because we've already seen Homelander take over Vought. So thanks. That's all I have here. Unfortunately, not a ton to go off of, but do expect this episode to be the craziest episode in The Boys' history. Hopefully, it's one that we'll have a lot to talk about on Friday. So thanks everyone for joining. Take it easy, YouTube.